Hello again, this is Brian Herbst with another episode of Brian's Blunders. I think this is episode 9. And just as a recap, what Brian Blunders is all about is where I talk about mistakes that I made over my 40-year career, where I made mistakes that hurt myself personally, the company I was working for, or my relationship with coworkers. So anyway, this one is called Way Too Open with Customers. So back in the 1990s, when I was working at AFL, we were selling a significant amount of fiber optic cable to China. It was really good business. And as many of our international customers would do, they wanted to come visit. So we, of course, said, sure, we're fairly open to visits and such. And so they showed up. There was about 10 of them. It was a lot. I'm assuming they brought an interpreter. I don't think we got one, but anyway. And so we're, sitting in a conference room, dialogue back and forth. Side note: our plant manager was doing kind of the presentation of who AFL was and who the players are and all that. And it was really funny because when he was talking to an audience that didn't speak English, his reaction to that was to talk really, really loudly in English, as if somehow that helped them understand better. It was kind of funny. I still laugh a little bit to this day because he just went up like three levels. So anyway, so we finished in the conference room, and they asked for a tour, and we said yes, and they asked if they could take pictures, and our plant manager said, sure, no problem. And I didn't feel real comfortable about that at the time. And that was kind of my blunder. I should have spoke up. Maybe things would have turned out differently. Maybe not. Maybe my boss would have just told me to get over myself. But I felt like, looking back, I should have said something, because I had misgivings about it, to be as open as we were with 10 people from China that we knew nothing about. Actually, we didn't know their background at all. Anyway, so we start the tour, and out I think literally all 10 of them pulled out cameras, and they're taking pictures of everything. So they had access to the equipment manufacturers, raw material suppliers. Some of the processes were running, so they could get a visual of how things kind of came together. And we kind of laid it all out there for them to learn, being really naive on the whole thing. And it took a few years, but 3 or 4 years later, our business went to zero. And of course, they were making their own stuff at that point. Would they have done that anyway? Yeah, probably. Would it have taken them longer? Yeah, I think so. If they wouldn't have had that, hundreds of pictures that they took, that probably would have slowed them down a little bit. Maybe instead of 3 or 4 years, maybe it would have been 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Who knows? Nevertheless, it cost the company money. I mean, that's more than clear. So key thing, protect your secrets. That's important. That's kind of, as you can, if you've watched all my other videos, that's kind of a common theme in a lot of them. So anyway, so today's episode is coming from Treehouse Brewery in Charlton, Massachusetts. This is Emperor Julius Guava, 8.8% alcohol. It's really good. All the Treehouse breweries are good. This is the third one that I've been to, and really have enjoyed them. A good friend of mine who lives in Hartford, Connecticut, recommended these, and really happy with that. Anyway, any questions, comments, put them in the bits below, and I may or may not respond, because again, I'm retired, do what I want. Anyway, take care, and talk to you soon.